Good evening. It is the 3rd day of July, the year 2024. Well, thank you for choosing Newswatch tonight right here at Hope TV. There is a lot that has been happening across the country, specifically on matters salary increment for top government officials, an issue that has raised eyebrows amongst Kenyans, especially on socials. Well, what's your thought on that specific issue right there? Get in touch with us through our socials at Hope TV and at Sammy Adika. We shall be taking a look on a few of your comments in a couple of minutes from now. My name is Sammy Adika and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Welcome. The Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, has frozen salary increment so as to ensure fiscal sustainability of the public wage bill. This is after public uproar on social media as a result of the Commission announcing the salary increase for members of parliament and other state officials. While addressing the press this evening, SRC chairperson Lynn Mengich said that the Commission is well aware of the public outcry and government bid to curb expenditure. Tess Njenga reports.
In response to media reports and public backlash on salary increases for members of parliament and other state officers, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, has halted the increment of salaries to state officers. Addressing the press, SRC chairperson Lynn Mengich said that the commission is well aware of the public outcry and government's bid to reduce the wage bill to 35%.
As a commission, we support all stakeholders who are aligned with what we have always talked about. We have always talked about the wage bill needs to be reduced. We are cognizant that in the last one, especially today and even yesterday, a number of MPs have come out strongly to support the position that SRC has always taken. And they have indicated that they are actually supporting a freeze. So to that extent, we take into account such views. It is good for us. It is what we have always fought for. Review for the last financial year was budgeted, and therefore it will continue to apply. What is frozen is what would have been implemented in this financial year. But we are now taking into account the fiscal constraint and the budgetary cuts that you are all aware that the government has clearly stated that there will be budgetary cuts. So it will therefore impact what would have been implemented from 1st July this year.
In defense of their move to announce the salary increment, the Commission's chair noted that the new salaries have not been newly gazetted as referenced in the media, but had been published in a gazette notice on the 9th of August 2023. This was part of the 3rd Remuneration and Benefits Review cycle for state and other public officers that will be implemented over a 2-year period, that of 2023-2024 and 2024-2025. Mengich said that the increase comes after a 2-year freeze of salaries following the COVID-19 pandemic.
It means already.
The Commission's chair added that the Commission is looking to restore public trust, calling on the media to partner with them. He has also called on the state officers to be accountable to the public in resource management and governance.
Look at Rwanda as an example. Right? They have a method, a system where every year the citizens hold their governors onto account. They have a forum, I've forgotten the local name, but we need to get back there as a country where all of us, including me, can come to the public and say, what have I done this year? Right? We go back to accountability to the citizens. So that is what we were advocating in the wage bill conference, a method where all public officers, where all cabinet secretaries can be held account and the citizens can ask questions. They can bring their scorecard and tell us this is where I've reached.
Earlier, President William Ruto wrote to the National Treasury instructing them to review the gazette notice by the SRC increasing the salaries of state officers. In a statement, Ruto said that all arms of government must live within their means. His sentiments have since been echoed by the Council of Governors as well as Public Service Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Tess Njenga.
Report. Still on matters salary increment, members of parliament and senators have joined hands to oppose the salary increment by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission (SRC). The rise comes at a time when Kenyans are protesting over high taxes. In a special motion led by Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot, he expressed concerns over what he termed as silence by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, even as the debate on public expenditure continues. Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi reports.
A Gazette notice dated 9th August 2023 from the Salaries and Remuneration Commission (SRC) noted that state officers were scheduled to get a salary and benefit increment starting 1st July 2024. The SRC is now on the receiving end amidst the push to cut down the increasing wage bill, even as young people protest over the increased taxes, demanding accountability of the government resources. The senators, led by the Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot, has urged the Commission to propose strategies for slashing the public wage bill to cap government spending. Speaking on Wednesday during a special motion to discuss the current state of affairs in the country, Cheruiyot highlighted the need for MPs to consider a pay cut.
Silence is not an option anymore, Mr. Speaker. They have to speak to the country. They have to tell us what is it that you're going to do, so that we reduce our public expenditure on wages and salaries from 46% to the mandatory 35%, Mr. Speaker. If it means taking a pay cut, we as members of parliament, Mr. Speaker, good people, we have been told that it's not possible, that members of parliament will never do it. We don't have an option. We must do it, Mr. Speaker. The yearly increment that is now being discussed, that we are being told that, I saw that being reported or misreported in sections of the media, that we are now going to earn more. SRC continues to be silent about it, but we must make a resolution and say we reject even that one in light of the financial situation.
Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale has called for total abolishment of the offices of First Lady, spouse of the Deputy President, spouse of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and County First Ladies. These comes even as President Ruto, during the media roundtable meeting, said that these will be scrapped off this year's budget.
If I were to ascend to one of these offices that people think they should have those wives as First Ladies, you would shake my family. Who will be my wife? Who will be the First Lady? Will be my first wife, my second wife, my third? Which one? Those are private family issues that should never be brought in public. I am a student of Michael Kijana Wamalwa. I am a student of George Welime Captain. I never saw Wamalwa's wife or George Welime's Captain's wife address any function, not in Luhyaland, not in their constituencies, nowhere else. Their purpose was to make sure that visitors have eaten. What became of husbands in this country?
If the CRC proposal, which has already been suspended, would be implemented in the financial year 2024-2025, all 349 members of parliament would see the salaries rise from 725,502 to 739,600, marking an increase of 14,098. A move Nairobi Senator Adrian Sifuna criticized as poorly timed amid the public outcry of increased expenditure.
We need to relook at our budgets in this house, and see where we can make major concessions and cuts for members of the public to feel that we are actually lessening the burden and not increasing the burden. And I want to give a personal example, and you'll forgive me if I'm giving out house secrets. Honorable Chair, when I became the Deputy Minority Whip, I was allocated a vehicle, a GK vehicle. On the first day that I used that car to go home, I passed through the expressway. I was shocked, Honorable Speaker, at the amount of money that is on my ETC card for my parliamentary car. As of this morning, when I used that same car to come here, there is 377,000 Kenyan shillings on my ETC. there is 377,000 Kenyans of the vehicle that have been given by Parliament. It does not make sense. It does not make sense, Honorable Speaker. So what you do, members of Parliament, the staff of Parliament have to be honest with Kenyans. In the way the budgets of Parliament are prepared, there are ways and means of reducing the expenditure in this house in a manner that will reduce the burden on taxpayers. I honestly do not need all that money. Even if I ran up and down the expressway for a year, I would never exhaust 370,000 Kenyan shillings. So, Honorable Speaker, we must do this so that we demonstrate to the people that we are serious about what we are talking about.
Dolly Murikimbovi for Hope TV, Nairobi.
Now moving to Laikipia County, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called on the youth to tone down their protests as they have turned to be destructive. Speaking in Laikipia County during the burial of her sister Leah Muriuki, Gachagua called on the youth to consider holding peaceful talks with President William Ruto in a bid to restore normalcy in the country. Gachagua also called on leaders across the country to unite Kenyans by all means possible and lead the country to a path of recovery. His sentiments comes just a day after the Ministry of Interior, through a statement, vowed to end violence and looting witnessed from the anti-government protests.
Our country faces difficult moments, and as a Deputy President, as a leader of this country, I want to call for peace and calm. I want to say that this is our own country, we have no other country. And I want to ask the people of Kenya to make peace, observe peace, and keep away from violence. The young generation, Gen Z, as your father, my sons and daughters, we have heard you. You've spoken very clearly. The message is home. What you started as peaceful protests, unfortunately, have been infiltrated and hijacked by criminals with criminal intent, who are now engaged in looting and creating mayhem. I want to, as a father, as a parent, to appeal to my children, my sons and daughters. Listen to us as your parents. I think if you agree, we want to plead with you to call off the protests so that criminals do not hijack them and engage in criminal activities. The president has already acceded to your plea to be heard, and you will be heard.
Well, still on matters demonstrations, Nyali Member of Parliament Mohammed Ali has called on the youth in Mombasa County to keep off the anti-government protests as they have been hijacked by goons. Ali's call comes a day after the Mombasa city witnessed the unprecedented day-long chaos that left both public and private property worth millions destroyed. The Nyali Member of Parliament further insisted on the need to end the destructive protests that will crumble the region's economy.
Tunataka kuwaambia maafisa wa kulinda usalama watie bidii kabisa, wawaze wa kupambana na wahalifu ambao jana tumeona wamechoma baadhi ya maduka, wamechoma baadhi ya magari, wamepiga watu na kuwaumiza vibaya sana, na baadaye hao wanaofanya madhambi wanarudi kusema polisi wamewaonea. Kwa hivyo tunataka viongozi wote wa kidini, viongozi wa kisiasa, wazazi, mahali popote mlipo, muweze kuhubiri injili ya amani katika taifa hili, muweze kuzungumza na watoto wenyu, muambie haina faida ya kutumiwa katika mirengo ya kisiasa. Mahali imefika, hawa watoto sasa wameanza kutumiwa kisiasa, wameanza kupewa pesa ili waweze kuzua vurugu. Yeyote ambaye ana shida na serikali ya William Ruto, kumuondoa mamlakani ni kwa mujibu wa katiba, ni kungoja mwaka wa 2027 upewe ile exercise yako ya kidemokrasia ya kuenda kupiga kura na kufanya mabadiliko. Lakini huwezi kuchukua uongozi kwa kutumia damu, kuhakikisha maduka yamechomwa, watu wameumizwa, na mambo mengi mabaya ambayo tumeona katika siku mbili zilizopita. Mombasa haina hii tabia. Hii ni tabia mpya imeanza kuingia Mombasa, na ni sharti kama viongozi tuweze kushikamana na kuhakikisha tumeweza kupambana na tabia hii mbaya zaidi. Pia ningelimpenda ndugu yangu gavana wa Mombasa awache kuchangia katika kuinua hamasa ya hawa watoto. Gavana anafaa kumbuke, kila siku kukiwa na maandamano, kaunti hii inaathirika pakubwa. Wafanye biashara katika soko ya Kongowea hawawezi pata wateja. Wafanye biashara katikati mwa jiji la Mombasa hawawezi fanya biashara kwa sababu wanaogopa, wanafunga.
Well, away from that, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, has released photos of individuals believed to have vandalized and made away with items from businesses in major towns in the country during the anti-government protests steered by the Gen Zs through their X, formerly Twitter platform. The DCI directed the suspects to report to the nearest police station, as the public has been urged to relay any necessary information that would help in the arrest of those whose faces were captured on CCTV in the different business premises. Well, away from that, the government has written to ambassadors and representatives of different countries to Kenya, insisting that Kenya is still safe despite the 3-week-long anti-government demos that has left several dead and property worth millions destroyed. Through a letter from the Office of Prime Cabinet Secretary, who also doubles up as CS for Foreign Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, the government has made major strides in curbing the demonstrations, insisting that it will continue to protect public institutions and ensure its citizens are safe. For the 3rd week now, Kenya has witnessed unprecedented protests fueled by the desire to reject the controversial 2024 finance bill. Well, taking a look on different issues now, family and friends of businessman come politician Jimmy Wanjigi earlier today gathered at All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi for the memorial service of his father, veteran politician James Maina Wanjigi. Wanjigi was eulogized as a great family man and a leader with the people's interest at heart. Maina Wanjigi passed on 28th June at the age of 92 at Nairobi Hospital. He will be remembered for establishing Gikomba Market in Kamukunji constituency after taking over as the area member of parliament for 25 years after the death of Tom Mboya. Well, our condolences to the family of businessman Jimmy Wanjigi. The Judiciary Service Commission, JSC, has suspended the recruitment exercise of judges of the Court of Appeal following a directive from the National Treasury requiring the judiciary to cut expenditure to 15% of its appropriated budget. According to JSC, the directive will have a major impact on its planned programs and activities. This comes as the Commission had planned a recruitment exercise of 11 judges of the Court of Appeal that was to start today. Well, we shall be taking a short break, but we'll be right back right here at Newswatch.
To get Wewe ni Mungu by Evelyn Wanjiru as your Skiza tune, SMS the word Skiza 88300028 and send to 811. Hope Skiza, spreading the hope.
Nakupa ibada ya moyo wangu usiku wa leo.
This week on Testify.
My question to God was, why are you allowing me to suffer this much? Why are you not hearing my prayers when I'm praying? You know, the Lord spoke to me and he told me, Martin, you're saying that you are serving me, but all the things that you are doing, all the struggle that you are struggling, it is because you want to achieve something. It is because of yourself. You are doing all these things for yourself.
Only on Hope TV. Look and live.
Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the channel that brings you hope, entertainment, and inspiration. We value you and would like to serve you better. Talk to us by scanning this QR code on your screen or go to our social media page at Hope TV Kenya and click on the survey link by the name Hope TV Survey. It will just take a few minutes but means the world to us. We value your feedback. Hope TV, look and live.
Welcome back as we continue. Remember to get in touch with us through our socials at Hope TV and at Sammy Adika. Now, moving to Marsabit County, medics and veterinary doctors have today held a free medical camp in Sarima area located in Laisami's sub-county in Marsabit. The medics and Asita missions team offered free medical services and consultations to the residents, a move that benefited at least 200 residents. And as Gloria Musimbi reports, several organizations and churches in collaboration with Sita Missions are holding a mission in Loyangalani area in Turkana County, dubbed as Medivet Mission Camp.
As the Loyangalani Medivet camp enters its third day, medics and veterinary doctors today held a free medical camp in Sarima area in Marsabit County. The local residents expressed their gratitude after their families and cattle received medical treatment and lauded the Sita Missions team for their joint efforts in supporting healthcare in arid areas.
Mimi amefurahi kabisa kwa sababu kama Mungu ameleta nyinyi hapa, mimi amefurahi kabisa. Shukrani kubwa kabisa. Kwa sababu hapa iko shida ya daktari ya dawa kidogo. Amfuko hata watu naumia tu ndani hapa.
Despite facing a myriad of challenges while on duty, medics have been able to offer treatment to over 300 patients in 4 different stations across Loyangalani.
We started with a camp that was very far in Dakaye, then later on came to El Molo, the 2 villages in El Molo, and today now we're in Sarima. All of them are in Marsabit County within Loyangalani. So within those 4 medical stations that we've had, we've seen over 300 patients so far. And the most prevalent condition that we've seen is, 1, anemia, which can be attributed first of all to the nutrition that they're getting.
The medics have, however, called on Marsabit County government and relevant health agencies to upskill their efforts in enhancing healthcare services in the environs of Loyangalani.
First of all, it's about setting facilities that are working. Yes, we have the facilities, yes, we have the workforce, but then the equipment that are required to deliver the services that are required are not there. And secondly, even the medication, the drugs that are supposed to be there are not provided. So that is a challenge to the community, which I pose to the community and to the county government and even the national government to look into that.
On their part, veterinary doctors under Sita Missions have been able to offer medical treatment to over 2,000 cattle in various areas in Loyangalani, posing sesaflies and pneumonia as the most prevalent cases affecting cattle in the community.
We are here to mission, which is to spread the word of God to the local community and to also help the community, which is mostly a pastoral community, to deworm their animals, as this area is very prone to things like sesafly, things like that, and to also supplement with multivitamins, especially for the young kids. Here we've mostly found sheep and goats, which are shots.
Reporting for TV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Thank you, Gloria Musimbi, who's been pitching camp in Loyangalani, Turkana County for the report. Now moving to the coastal part of the country, residents of Momlai in Jomvu, Mombasa County are protesting a developer's decision to block a crucial access road. They say the move will impede access for essential services and disrupt daily life, urging local authorities to intervene, highlighting concerns over school access, emergency services and daily movement. Mumbi Waweru with the details.
Residents of Momlai in Mombasa's Jomvu constituency have accused a developer of blocking a key public passageway. They claim the developer is constructing a perimeter wall around his plot without leaving the promised 12-foot access route to their village. The blockade, they argue, will hinder the passage of fire engines, ambulances, and disrupt local trade. Longtime resident Daniel Nyamoi expressed concern over the impact on school-going children and the delivery of building materials, urging local officials to resolve the issue.
Hii kijiji tumekaa ni zaidi ya miaka 25. Sasa tulikuwa tunapita bila shida, na shangaa leo bwenyenye anakuja na sibia njia, watoto wetu hatujui wanaenda shule vipi. Material hatuja leta ya kujenga, tunashindwa sasa, tuna usuni. Ndio maana tumekusanyika hapa asubuhi ya hii, ulimwengu ujue kwamba sisi tunaturumiwa na mabwenyenye. Kwa hivyo tunaomba wahisani waingililie, wabunge, MCA wote, mpaka kama itawezekana rais ajue sisi hapa chini tunanyanyaswa na matajiri. Tafadhali na waomba sana, hii swala watu walichukulie kwa serious, wewe serious nayo ndio sisi tupate kusaidika hapa. Wananchi na waomba mtulie, watu waingilie, waongee hii maneno mpaka tupate njia.
Benson Ratemo, another resident, emphasized the lack of alternative routes and highlighted the importance of the passage for workers accessing their jobs. Winnie Mgide, a local mother, voiced fears over the impact on pregnant women and sick children, noting the village's reliance on water trucks and supply deliveries.
Sasa tunastukia tunafungiwa njia, hatujui tuende wapi. Watoto wetu wanasoma pale juu. Sisi tunataka njia. Shida yetu ni njia tu tunataka. Kwa hivyo hata mwenye anajenga hapa. Sisi kilio chetu ni njia tu, mahali popote uliko. Shule ziko hapa, watoto wetu wanafuka wanaenda hapa juu wanasoma. Watu wanatoka pale wanaenda kufanya makazi sao pale juu. Watu wanategemea hii njia. Kwa hivyo mahali popote bosi uliko, tunaomba ujitokeze, ukuje utuambie tutaruka na juu ama tutapita na wapi wakati unatufungia njia.
The residents demand that the developer addresses their concerns and provide a solution for accessing schools and workplaces, stressing the importance of maintaining the passageway for the well-being of the entire community. Mumbi Waweru, Hope TV Newswatch.
Well, many thanks, Mumbi Waweru. Let's now have a look at counties. Members of the business community in Kakamega have vowed to guard their businesses against protesters if the Gen Z demonstrations persist, following the losses they incurred due to looting. And in Narok County, a somber mood engulfed Narok town when a section of youth marched along the hospital town Bomet Road, carrying a coffin with the remains of Brian Kasaine, who was killed while participating in the demonstrations last Tuesday. Here's Nelias Wanjiru with a county roundup.
A somber mood engulfed Narok town when a section of youths marched along Hospital Town Bomet Road carrying a coffin with the remains of Brian Kasaine, who was killed while participating in the demonstrations last Tuesday. The youths, who included Boda riders, students and businessmen, marched along the busy road demanding justice from the government as they alleged that Kasaine was killed by a senior police officer. The mourners placed the casket in different points of the town to allow residents to view the body of the departed soul as they chanted anti-government slogans.
Na mtoto ana bunduki, unaweza piga mtu kama mwizi namna gani? Hiyo imetukasirisha kama wale anko zake. Hatujafurahia maneno siezi ametufanyia. Hatujafurahia, tunataka hii vyombo yote iende na tunataka astakiwe. Aende. Tu anajulikana hapa Narok, ni mtu anajulikana. Tunaomba serikali imchukulie hatua.
In Kisii County, a section of traders have lamented over vandalism and extensive destruction of their businesses following the demonstrations. The traders are now calling upon the government to intervene and compensate on the losses they have incurred.
Tuko na pesa ya chama hakuna pesa ya road, hatuna mahali pa kuangalia, tunajua tunakimbisha na waje road, hatuna kuingia, tutakimbilia mwezi mmoja.
As a business community in Kakamega have vowed to guard their business if Gen Z demonstrations persist. The business people have expressed their concern, alleging that thugs are now invading the demos to steal and loot.
Umeiba hata saa hii imefungua duka, so mimi nitakaenda report police station, lakini police nasema recover karibu bike 5.
Vitu nimekuja asubuhi hakuna chochote kimebaki. Nashindwa ninaanzia wapi. Naomba serikali tusaidie.
Mimi jana nimechukuliwa mali yangu karibu shilingi 30,000. Imepotelea pale ambapo sina hata mahali pa kuanzia. Nina mkopo, nina watoto natakana wakule.
Sasa umeenda kuandamana, umeibia mama biashara yake. Unataka uje nyumbani ukule nini na wewe ni kijana.
And in a bid to calm the angered youth protesters, Samburu County leaders are urging the government to reintroduce Kazi Mtaani, Kazi kwa Vijana program, as this will keep the youth busy and temporarily provide jobs to millions jobless youths in the country. Led by Samburu Governor Lati Letit and former Samburu Women Rep Honorable Maison Leshomo, the leaders further urged President William Ruto to try and engage the youth for stability of the country and applauded Samburu youths for not actively engaging in yesterday's countrywide protest and further urged them to maintain the same spirit of promoting peace going forward in order to allow development activities to take place. The Council of Islamic Religious Leaders is urging the youth to stop the protest due to the destruction witnessed in yesterday's protest. The council, led by Sheikh Khalifa Mohammed, said the protests have now been infiltrated by hooligans, stating that there is need to stop and give space for negotiations in order to find a solution to the problems.
Mkizuia maandamano, majambazi hawataweza kuvuja na kufanya yale maovu ambayo kwamba wameyafanya.
And we are speaking as leaders to say, GNC, the president has heard you. The president has given you a listening ear. He has been able to stop the bill. And now he is saying, can we come together?
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, Counties Roundup, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Well, now shifting gears to matters sports. The KCB East Africa Golf Tour event that was set to take place in Nanyuki this weekend has been postponed to a later date. Over 120 golfers were set to participate in the 12th leg of the ongoing KCB East Africa Golf Tour at the 9-hole par 72 Nanyuki Sports Club course. The tour's grand final is scheduled for December 6th this year.
I joined this club courtesy of KCB, and the golf, I've been playing golf from since then till now, and I'm so happy. I'm very happy to have won this particular series for KCB. That was interesting. We had a match play again, coincidentally, Safaricom versus KCB within the bigger KCB series. And for the large part, I was focused on the match play. I wasn't really looking at my points. And that's how I ended up playing well. I didn't have the pressure of thinking about the points I was making.
So when we were choosing our team, we're looking at the long hitters like Lawrence Jenga, the good iron players, myself and Nicholas Gaduru, and the great putter of Wallace Maura. So when we were forming this group, we're saying we need to play the way we play, because we bet a bit on Mondays, and we said you do your best and the rest will come.
Now on Euro 2024, Mary Demiral scored twice to send Turkey into the Euro 2024 quarterfinals with a 2-1 win over Austria. Demiral opened the scoring after less than a minute and netted again in the second half to set up a clash against the Netherlands in Berlin on Saturday. Earlier on, Netherlands reached its first European Championship quarterfinals in 16 years with a 3-0 win over Romania, and its best performance by far as at the Euro 2024. Cody Gakpo broke the deadlock in the 20th minute, and substitute Daniel Malen scored two late goals to send the Douche to their first quarter-final in the tournament since the year 2008. The quarter-finals, which will take place on Friday and Saturday this week, will see the host Germany face off with Spain on Friday, while Portugal face France the same day. On Saturday, the Three Lions, England, will face Switzerland as Netherlands take on Turkey. Well, that marks the end of Newswatch tonight right here at Hope TV. Many thanks for choosing Hope TV tonight. My name is Sammy Adika, and our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Mreithi. Good night.